Hello, nice to meet you. My name is Jairo Flores, and I'm from the 2024 B promotion of the Heavy Equipment Mayorings career. Today, we have the honor of interviewing the engineer Alarcon Apasa Eric, instructor of the Heavy Equipment Mayorings career of the Settlement Institute.
Good afternoon, Hayo. And well, it is a pleasure to be here to participate in this interview. Thanks for the opportunity and with great pleasure to be able to be here and carry out this interview for the English project.
Engineer, could you tell us some about you? How old are you? Where do you come from? And how are you living the difficult situation of the pandemic today?
Well, my name is Eric Alarcón. I am 32 years old and I currently live in Lima and due to the situation that we find ourselves, we carry everything virtually, always complying with the government's rules to take care of ourselves.
What's your favorite hobby? Do you like the most? You prefer music genre? And if you practice any sport to get the figure that is important?
My hobby is reading articles, magazines, technical specifications of the automotive part. I like to watch soccer, see the flights, see mixed martial arts. My favorite dish is the green noodle accompanied with its steak or chicken breast.
Very well. We like to know your academic and technician, professional and university training and what's your reason for starting your career?
Well, I am from the career of maintenance of heavy equipment of the sub promotion 2011. And my experience, I have always liked the mechanical part. I start as a technician after 5 years old of experience. I start the career of industrial engineering at the University of San Ignacio, always linked to what heavy machinery is. I chose it because it likes a mix of all aspects.
How was your history when you graduated from the industrial engineer's career and how was the share for your first job and what would you recommend to us when we finish our technical career?
When I finished my career, I was already in work activity in parallel. I worked and studied, and it is always difficult to make that scale from technician career to engineers. Is part of an evolution of professional growth. My recommendation is that you prepare very well in the theoretical part and keep training since it is difficult to get the first job for the month. that you can always keep informating us and having the knowledge.
Thank you very much, engineer. Now, how was your career path and what was your greatest you challenge and your great challenge and achievement at the youth world?
Initially, I was as mechanic team technician. I was in charge of the fleet of surface drilling equipment, such as tractor loaders. After that, I had the opportunity to join the Komatsu Machineries Company Peru, where I performed as a mechanical technician and climbed from level 4, 3, 2 to obtain experience and always obtain a lot knowledge, and my challenge was to be able to jump from my maiden repair part to training part, and that was a great achievement where I went to Ferreiros and certified the mechanic technician, and then I was in a company as supervisor of heavy equipment, and finally returned to settlement with the challenge of providing experience and knowledge that wants to enter the world of machine maiden.
Very good, engineer. That's exactly where I was going because my next question is how you decide to be an instructor in our heavy equipment Myres career here at Setemin. Um, what was that motivation to you do?
Yes, that's right. I always like I had already gained experience and knowledge and everything I had learned throughout my professional life. I wanted to translate it, or I wanted to also contribute to young people who want to start a technical career in heavy equipment maintenance. The idea and own will to contribute and give all my experience, that motivation was what caused me to be here in Setting today before a group of students and dictation of courses of heavy equipment. While it is true, because now the conjuncture has found that we are virtually working, but for me always giving the best of me so that students have a quality course and all carried knowledge and experience I have gained throughout my professional life. That motivation was primarily wanting to train young people entering the world of heavy equipment.
Very good, engineer. Very thanks for sharing that. We have a few final questions. Could you, engineer, tell us if you are currently developing a post graduate, diplomate, or master's degree, and what will be your next academic achievement that you would like to arch?
Also, my objective is, for example, to carry out a master degree, a specialization in management in heavy equipment maintenance indicators. At the moment, I am still in a project in a short-term or medium-term plan, at most depending on how is the situation currently, that it was has stopped a bit. slowed down the subject of my master's degree or specialization, and that will be one of academic objectives. I put it a maximum in the medium term. I think that this year 2021 is where I am going to start doing that specialization, and well, the ideal is therefore not to satisfactorily complete it and continue other training that my professionality profile requires.
Okay, engineers, thanks you very much. I also share the idea of continue to fit in. The field always have been continuous improvement. Will you consider engineer that there is a social net among technicians, engineers, and professionals is the fields of maintenance of heavy equipment to work, youth, and our community?
If I think there is a social responsibility for us, if it's true, we are responsible for providing maintenance to these teams, and these teams, as they do not work with diced foods, and the impact environment generated by these teams, because it is significant, nevertheless, is a responsibility. There, we give a good maintenance to these teams. Also, from our own part, we must continue to cultivate the initiative to grow professionally, to set an example to young people who are, for example, with those stuff about studying and what qualities do they have to study a career then there. Also, uh, how are going to be a professionals at some point should continue. At some point we give you the advice to be a professional. Anyway, we have to replicate it with the following generations.
Thanks, engineers. To culminate the interview, tell us how do you see yourself personally and professional in the next 10 years?
Very well. I see myself already busy. I have two goals out there: occupying a management position in the maintenance area. I already like the training part, but I also like the repair part, the maintenance part, the service part, then occupying well a managerial position, a leadership position, the maintenance part in recognized company, or there are also some projects, science steering business of our own, provide training and repair service for heavy equipment maintenance. These are the two projects that could be planned, and if there is a terms of 10 years, this has to be specific.
For core engineers, I code in X like that. I ask you to give my some recommendations to online students to be able to be
You have always recommended to young people when we start a career must now leave our habits or bad habits, bad our habits that we have good come as any young man. It's present at school, institute, academy, forgiveness, but it when we start this professional career. Those habits have to be left at the door. There should no enter our world of work, and always look forward to studying, trying too hard. The achievements are not obtained because all the achievements are not obtained because with a medium effort, everything that we have achieved something in this world. I believe that we have made an effort and we continue to make an effort. So my recommendation is always study a lot, read a lot, not only a technician matters, but also other types of information, for example, books, soft skills courses, communications courses, technology courses that make us grow as a professionals and always well. Now with continuous trying, guys, that would be my advice to you.
Thank you very much, engineer. Well, let's close this interview. It was a pleasure, engineer. Thank you very much for time him to thank you for sharing with us your knowledge and experience throughout your career, and let's say that all this will help us to group individually in our professional career that we deserve to follow. Thank you very much, engineers.